So, hello everyone. My name is Ivana Mađarević from Wikimedia Serbia, and today with me is my colleague Miroslav Loci. We are going to talk about the research project that we've done during the last year and this year, and to let you know that the goal of the presentation. What? Do you hear me? Okay. Okay. So, the goal of the presentation is to let you know which kind of research funds. I mean, not which kind, but how can you actually apply for these funds? And also, a much bigger focus will be on the results of the project that we had. So we've tried to see how we can integrate new editors better into the Serbian Wikipedia community, and how can we motivate them and give them better working environment and atmosphere on the project. Just to give a little bit of retrospective on the research funds. So, as I said, we did this project within the research funds of Wikimedia Foundation, and this is the information from the meta page. All the links for the meta page, for the proposal of our research, for the results will be at the end of the presentation, so you can find it on Commons as well. But we wanted to, as I said, do a little bit of our research within our community, and we are aware that there's a lot of research projects, but our is a little bit different, and Miroslav will with Miki will talk more about that. But as for the funds. They are dedicated for the groups, individuals, organizations who want to contribute to generalized knowledge and to strengthen our Wikipedia and Wikimedia research community. As you can see here, and you can find more information on Meta page, there's one round per year, and you can apply for two thousand up to 50,000 US dollars. Um, how our process went, we had this detailed preparation. So we defined, of course, objectives, methodology, what we want to achieve, what we want to find out from our community. When we put all of this on the paper, we had review and, of course, some kind of improvements within that proposal, meaning that we needed technical review, feedback, and based on all of these inputs, we created some changes within the proposal. And at the end, we had this final phase and decision where we prepared more details in terms of budget, in terms of course, some specific objectives, and went straight to decision. Our let's say our feedback and our experience with these funds were quite well, because it seems like that only very well structured projects are going to be approved, and with clear objectives, clear definitions of what we want to achieve. And furthermore, we'll continue. Miroslav.
Yes. Hello. So I will tell you more about the project. So it lasted for 10 months from the middle of the previous year until the end of April of this year, and it was conducted by our educational program manager Nebojša Ratković, who some of you know, as well as Nevena Rudinac, our previous diversity manager, and an external independent researcher, Miloš Todorović. I have to have a disclaimer here. We will try to explain what they did. We will do it in our best terms, but in case there is any misunderstanding, feel free to contact Nebojša about more information on it. So the project had the idea to understand how we can make communities of Wikimedians more welcoming for new editors, and specifically in smaller communities, since these researches or parts of these researches were done by larger communities like Chinese Wikimedia community, for example. throughout the work that we listed on the end of our presentation, you can see, you can read the results, and also throughout the research you can find all the cited previous researches that have been done on this topic. So what was used for this research is, so we split it into two stages. First stage required quantitative study on the motivational and demotivational factors of content contribution and community participation. And also the second stage was focused on qualitative study on the experience of new editors within our community. So why are we different? We did this in a way to combine exploring both the content contribution online, as well as community participation in real life within the Wikimedia local community. And we explored both motivational and demotivational factors within the correspondence, the respondents, basically. So the variables that were used for this research, we studied the editor's behavior on Wikipedia, which were, as I said, content contribution and community participation, and the extrinsic motivational factors, which is basically focused on how the individual can build their reputation within the community and self-development. And then we have the internal motivational factors, which is altruism, enjoyment, ideology that the individual has, and sense of belonging, as well as we check the demotivational factors, which is mostly, as you all know, negative feedback, conflict within the community, lack of resources, and strict rules on the local project. So the first stage was conducted a questionnaire towards around 100 editors, active editors on Serbian Wikipedia, and we had kind of, let's say, equal representation of male and female editors between the ages of 18 and 74, and they signed the agreement to basically participate in this research, that their information will be shared and used for the results, and they were invited to take part in the research in 4 ways, which is through mailing lists that we have for our community, then posts on the village pump on Wikipedia, and as well as individual contacts and communication channels like Discord that we have for our Wikimedia community. And what we learned from this first part, is so basically what motivates them the most is that the content contribution will be affected mostly by the mix of external and internal motivational factors like self-development, enjoyment, and ideology. The community participation will be mostly affected by a mix of internal motivational factors, which is usually ideology and enjoyment of, well, belonging. Then people who believe that editing Wikipedia enhance their soft skill and tend to enjoy editing Wikipedia will be, of course, more likely to contribute to Wikipedia, which is probably what brought us all to this beautiful project. And the demotivational factors that are also important here are that they have bigger effect on content contribution than on community participation, especially the lack of resources in Serbia will be one of those demotivational factors. Then sense of belonging and self-development and altruism, and the negative feedback and the lack of resources are significant predictors of content contribution. And the only significant predictors for community participation are enjoyment and a sense of belonging, or gaining the strength of this community. And then we had the second stage, which Ivana will tell more about.
Okay, so we had this second stage where in the first phase we wanted to have this more general questionnaire when people have the opportunity to actually do something without they didn't have to use their names or usernames, so they can actually say their what's on their mind. But on this second stage we wanted to create these more specific interviews with a specific group, of course. What I wanted to emphasize here that we had seven females and four male editors, and we wanted to have this balance between female and male editors. They were from 18 to 57 age old, and the this group is really specific because there were some Wikipedia ambassadors, wiki ambassadors that we have on faculties. There were some Wikipedian in residence, but also some people who didn't have any kind of connections with Wikimedia, so that we have this neutral attitude as well. These interviews are consisted out of specific questions regarding editing, motivation, demotivation, even environment, of course, in which they are editing. And this is the things that we found out from them, that the lack of time is something that is really constraining them from editing. Of course, this is the huge minus for them, but on the positive side, they want to edit about the local topics. They want to edit about something they're passionate about, and they want for that content to be visible and useful for people who read Wikipedia and use Wikipedia. And these are some probably for you and for us familiar learnings, of course, but um, what they said to us for the demotivational factors, and these are arranged by the number of most common answers. The first one is, of course, having articles deleted, and especially having articles deleted and seeing some changes within the articles without any kind of feedback, without any kind of explanation why they're doing this, and this unconstructive criticism from experienced editors. And I think that this is really common in all of our communities. This is really something that we already knew. But what we wanted to find out within this research project is how can we do something that will change these kind of attitudes and these kind of behavior of the experienced editors. And these are the answers from the participants within the interviews and within the questionnaire. So having a mentor will really help. So having someone who they can rely to, they can go to, they can ask to. We do have a lot of communication channels, Discord, we have Village Bump, we have mailing lists, but new editors are not so, they don't have, I don't know, enough strength to go there and ask people publicly what they need, about the problems they need, about the issues they need to solve. So having a mentor, having a specific person who will dedicate their time to help them will definitely help. Having online tutorials, I have to say we have those, but they're not enough. So having materials, if they forget something, which is quite usual and common within our workshops, if they forget something, so they don't have to write to someone, they just need to go to online tutorials. Having online training sessions, so training sessions which can be on a regular basis, as much as they need, will definitely help. Also having someone to go through their content before publishing it. This is very common, but I have to say this is much common within for the female editors, because female editors are more unsecure regarding publishing something new, and not being safe enough to for that content to be public. Also highlighting to the community who are the new editors and how we can approach them. This is really nice. So all of these suggestions are from the perspective of new editors, but this is the one that is focused more on the community and experienced editors. And having all the things in mind that Miki and I presented right now, we created recommendations. Well, I said we, but Nebojša, Nevena, and Milos, based on these findings. So implementing a mentorship program. We do have mentorship program on Wikipedia, on Serbian Wikipedia, but sometimes it's not that successful because sometimes we have situation where new editors and mentor are not even communicating with each other, and new people don't want to be aggressive, so sometimes they don't know about that and they just don't approach to mentors. So having a mentorship program where we have to be more proactive, and where we have to reach new editors, to recognize them, to establish new a pleasant atmosphere for their work. Creating textual and video online tutorials, as I said, we already have something like that, but having those sent as info package to the new editors on Wikipedia will be more helpful, so they can know that there's some tutorials that can help them. They can know that they don't have to go to some person, they can actually read about that, etc. Adding banners and thank yous. This is specifically focused on new editors, like articles that were written by new editors, so they can have some banner. Okay, this is written by new editors, so please be nice, be aware that this person has good intentions, and they need more motivation to do so. So please help them do that. Trying to foster online interactions. So definitely for community participation, the sense of belonging is something really, really important for our community. This is on a local and a global level as well. So having those events, meetups, workshops, trainings will help them to be more safe, to be more a feel like a part of the community. So these are our recommendation, and some of the things we are already doing, some of the things we are going to do better, but this is also something that is quite applicable in other communities. Though some of those things that don't require resources, I mean resources in terms of funds, and in terms of a lot of time. So yes, you can find here links to the results of on Commons, Wikimedia research funds, project proposal from our side, and also report from our team on Meta with all of the results that we presented so far. And I think we have more than enough time for questions or comments or suggestions or your experience.
Just a note, I will also send to the chat right now this presentation. So if you want to have it, read it, feel free to do it.
Yeah. Mhm. Oh,
Hi. Oh, hi. Ili dobar dan, zdravo.
bravo.
So from the region, I'm from Croatia. Željko and I, we are from Croatia, and we are doing a lot of stuff in group art and feminism, and also in Open Glam group. I started, I think, let's say 3 years ago. I'm a graphic designer and artist, and I know a lot about these themes. And I have all the problems, almost all the problems you enlisted there, and I didn't resolve it on any way until, let's say, a week ago, when we had our last session that was around exhibition Invisible Ones in Museum of Contemporary Art in Zagreb, about invisible women artists in their collection. And we gathered around the project and then have Wiki project around it, and try to gather new people writing about the subject. Well, it is hard to gather new people. But when we get it, it's very common from the other participants to delete subjects because they mostly write, and they are majority on our Wikipedia, that those female artists are not relevant enough to be on Wikipedia. And the only reason is they're always deleted, deleted in history, during the history. So there is not a lot of information about them because someone else was writing the woman history. So we are like in this circle, and it's very hard to go beyond that circle. And I think it's very important. So all of these problems and solutions are okay, but I know after some time, finger up is not enough, because it can be your article or data you uploaded or so on can be deleted. So I don't know how to manage things in a community that has, let's say, toxic environment about female rights, rights of all persons who are not majority. So thank you.
Yeah, this is absolutely familiar with us. We have Wikigap project, we have She Said campaign, we have a lot of those activities, and we all, within all of these activities, we usually face the same problems. So deleting articles about women who don't have enough literature resources, and during the history they didn't have it because they were like weren't in focus. Okay, thank you. I know that these recommendations cannot solve all of the problems, but what we had with this one of, it's not an organization, it's a group of female. No, they became editors, but we had several iteration with writing articles. So they wrote something and they gave it to us, and then we had some suggestions, and they tried to fix those suggestions. Then we had another iteration, etc., etc., and we didn't publish anything before it was like completely good reference. It was like with good structure, etc. And I know it's a much more, it's bigger effort, and it's more time, and it's more investing everything energy in it, but at the end it had good results. And we did have some of those articles deleted, but the only thing that we could do is talk and talk pages and village bump, and where there's vote for deletion, we could have arguments like this. Okay, we know that there aren't many books about them, but they are still relevant for our culture, literature, music, whatever. So having, and I know it's exhausting, but having people who are investing their time in just talking with people who are maybe toxic, but at the end they will change their mind if the more people are for staying with these articles. I know that there aren't perfect solutions, but it worked for us. Like,
So I would like to add something also on it. Nurture the newbies, which is if you have a group of interested women who would like to write about women, then maybe try to like create a space for them where they can actively work together, or do this correspondence with them so that the articles that they make are as best as can be. Wikipedia, as we know, is not the primary source, so we cannot discover a hidden figure and then write about them something super new that doesn't exist anywhere in the world. So probably finding new resources, writing about them somewhere where it can be published, and then citing that on Wikipedia will help you have your references. And I guess we are all aware here how it works, that they will have the bad ones will have the yes, they will have how do I say, reason to delete it in a way, because they say there's no reference. Okay, let's find a reference and do not give them that reason. So we are, as a majority, we will be prevalent in this cause.
I also, what, Sean?
No.
I want to add that we, on Serbian Wikipedia, there were some discussions about the как znate, notability
Notability step. I don't know.
step. I don't know how to say it, but like, you have to have these prepositions so
Notability
you can be
threshold.
on Wikipedia. And this is really important because of the people, right? So I mean, not we as Wikimedia Serbia, but Wikipedian community started working on that, and maybe even starting these kind of discussions with your community. Okay, let's put all of these propositions, because, for example, on Serbian Wikipedia, it's really common to have footballers, well, yeah, footballers, players, who are not so relevant, but they're there, and some women is not. So this is our main like argument for these kind of discussions.
Yeah, you can ask now.
Mhm.
Okay, I will give you my microphone.
Okay, now it is. I'm interested in a kind of professional research aspect. Um, so there was one professional researcher in the group, or many?
No, two. Nevena and Milos are
Okay.
researchers, and Nebojša is the one who, well, he did some of the scientific papers, but they have more experience in that. So
I missed the very beginning. So you applied for research fund. What was the amount of money you requested and got?
actually, there's a link for the research proposal here in the presentation, so you can see the exact amount.
Okay.
But as I said here, this was our process. So we had the preparation, having the methodology objectives, having the whole the materials that we wanted to present it. Then we had the review, needed improvements, and then a final decision at the end. So you can see the exact amount, you can see the proposal here in the presentation, and you can also see the results in terms of report of the research funds. And there's also a link for the Wikimedia research funds, so you can find some details here about the
I'm
funds.
aware of it. I was keeping in touch with the team. They were unfortunately not doing themselves professionally research in humanities. They don't have anyone in Wikimedia Foundation who has humanities as background as a researcher in the research team. They're all doing with like focused on technical aspects. And so I'm interested in how this research compares to the previous research that was done in this direction by other groups in
Okay.
Wikimedia, and do we actually compare methodologies before we do research? I mean, somehow I'm not going to be like super detailed, but I think the stuff you presented for us who are affected by these phenomena seems super reasonable that these are conclusions. But somehow we are missing the new ideas. And I know there were new ideas coming from whose knowledge, from Afro crowd, from art and feminism, that were at some point historically presented, but were not adopted by the greater Wikimedia movement. They remained kind of in the niche, in the groups that are minority focused, and they never mainstreamed. And because you are mainstream affiliate, maybe it would be important that you also see what was done before so you can help mainstream.
I have to. I'll just answer quickly, and we have to go to other presentation. So, as we said at the beginning, so this is done by our colleagues, our colleague Nebojša and former colleague Nevena and Milos, and there's a link to the research fund. They actually compared previous researches. And why is this different is because we are exploring contribution and community participation and motivational data motivational factors. So there are several numbers of researches with this topic, but this is why this research is different, because they are combining motivational and demotivational factors and contribution and participation. So you can read in in the proposal, in the results, and see how they actually focusing on previous researches. And now we have to go. Thank you so much.